Okay, I'm feeling remarkably better. I mean, I'm not totally well right now. I just feel a lot better. Um, I still sound sick, but it's really cold today. It's really cold here in Phoenix, and it's been cold actually for the last 2 days because it's kind of rainy weather right now. Like today has been the best for rainy weather. Too bad I can't totally enjoy it because I'm not totally well. Um, but I ran errands today, paying bills and stuff, and um, now I got to go shopping for food. I'm gonna make a bunch of food for Thanksgiving this next week. I'm really excited for that because I eat paleo style, so I'm gonna be making like paleo stuffing and paleo pumpkin pie. Um, for recipes that are paleo style, you can go to two different websites I go to is Elena's Pantry and Wellness Mama. You can Google for those, or I'll put the links down in the bottom. But they both have a lot of paleo diet foods. One has the stuffing, one has a pumpkin pie recipe with a pumpkin pie crust that is grain free. It's really good. I made both of these 2 years ago. This year I'm going to make pecan brittle, which is paleo style, and some gravy, which I've never made before without flour. And I can't think of the other thing I want to make. I think it's like a mashed potato type thing that's made out of turnips and parsley? Parsnips. No, I don't remember which. Anyway, so I went and got my oil change today, and I haven't got an oil change in years because I haven't had a car for a long time, and when I did have a car, that it broke down right after I bought it, and so I haven't had to go through the whole oil change thing in a while. And it cost about the same to get it done at a shop as to do it yourself. So I went to get it done at a place called Ronnie's, and I'm supposing they did a really good job. But it's here in Tempe, and they said that they would call me on my cell phone, and I caved, and I got minutes on my phone, which I haven't had minutes on my phone for a couple weeks now. When it comes to me and cell phones, I'm not a huge fan of cell phones. Um, I was really, really poor a couple years ago, like really poor. And so I'm to a point where I'm really frugal with my money. When it comes to a cell phone, I probably will never get a smartphone. My phone is at my house, and I have a cell phone for emergencies, and it's pay as you go, so it's like $15 for I don't know how many minutes. But when that time's up, I have to buy another card, and it's usually about less than $30 a month is what I pay for this, if even that. So it's only for emergencies, and I text on it sometimes, but I don't like texting unless it's an emergency text. People with smartphones text me constantly, and it's like, you're wasting my texting minutes. You can just call me on my phone at my house. Anyway, so I haven't had minutes on my cell phone for a while, and I caved today, and I got minutes. Because I was thinking, if I go and do this oil change, they're going to want to call me, so I should have a cell phone on me. So in that regard, I think a cell phone is important. Otherwise, dude, I lived in the 80s. I lived in the 70s and 80s and 90s. We didn't have cell phones. Well, not until the middle to late 90s. Um, so I'm glad I did because I spent 2 hours down on like Mill and University just walking around in the cold. I didn't have this on. I should have brought this with me, but I left it in my car. But I did have this on. But I'm walking around in the cold, and I'm getting over being cold. So it probably wasn't a good thing. I don't know if I'm going to get more sick, but I had a lot of fun. I walked down to Mill Avenue. I went to Zia Records. They changed it because they built a new one on Mill and Southern, and this one that's on University and Mill, um, just west of Mill. It's uh, it's the discount Zia now, and a lot of things there are like 75% off. and stuff. Um, but I went there, and then I went to Circle K to get some juice because I really like that V8 Fusion, and I can't find any other Circle K, so I went down there hoping it was there, and it was there. So I drank some of that, and I'm talking to the guy, telling him how I'm waiting for my car to get fixed or to get an oil change, and I need some time to kill. I need something to do to waste time. And he's like, "Oh, there's an antique store down the street. I spent like 45 minutes in there." So I went down there. I think it's called Rare Lion, and I talked to the lady there for a long while. I had really good conversation with her, and she's local too, and she was born in Arizona, and as was I. I was born in Maryville, and we just had a great conversation. Her name is Michelle, and she has this amazing store with like old stuff from like the 20s and before that. You know, she has some stuff from after that, but that just fascinates me looking at stuff from back in the day. And I saw these little tiny spoons. I'm like, what do they use those for? And one of them was blue, like this blue was gilded and it had this blue in the center that looked like stone. And I'm like, what are these for? And she's like, oh, well, back in the 20s, they used to have these little bowls and they had the spoons that they put in them and they'd fill it with salt. And the spoon was a salt spoon. I wanted to buy one of those spoons just for the heck of it, you know, but I didn't. I just sat there and talked to her because I told her I was waiting for my oil to get changed. Anyway, then I figured they were going to call me because it had been about an hour. So I'm like, I should probably go. So I left and I went down to Hardy. I pretty much walked a long ways today in the rain. I walked down to Hardy. It was not raining really. It was just sprinkling, drizzling. And I walked down to AM/PM, and I need to use their bathroom, but their bathroom's closed, so they said Rosita's would let me use their bathroom, so I used their bathroom, and then I came back and I'm like, I want some hot chocolate or something, and I didn't see they had hot chocolate, so I'm like, I'll just get coffee. So I got a coffee, and they had that turbinado sugar, so I put that in there, and I never drink coffee. Like it's like once or twice a year, maybe, if even that. And I'm like, it's cold enough for it, you know. So then I put, I think I had the vanilla, and I put some, they have like this, pumpkin spice flavoring. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know people complain about that, how this is the year, this is season for pumpkin spice. And I'm like, I should just try it. So it was really good coffee. It wasn't really the coffee that was good, it was the sugar that was good. Not very paleo of me, but still. I had coffee today, and I haven't had coffee in a while, so it was nice. A nice little treat. Anyway, so I'm just blabbing about my day. I'm supposed to go back to Ronnie's next Friday, and they're going to give me an estimate about something's going on with my car. The AT light came on, automatic transaxle light, um, automatic transmission, I guess you should say. Um, it came on the other day when I went over some train tracks, and it's like my car slipped out of gear and it wouldn't drive. I pulled into the side of the road, and I'm thinking, should I just drive home because I'm about a mile away from my house? So I could still drive, but it wasn't shifting gears, and I was going like 3 miles an hour. So I just drove all the way home, and then I turned off my car and I turned it back on, and the AT light didn't come back on. And I'm like, well, I should try to back up. And I backed up, but I didn't want my car to stop again. So, oh, when I went over the tracks, did I tell this story already? It's like my engine fell. That's what it felt like, and the AT light came on. So I thought maybe my transmission dropped. My transmission fell, but I don't think it did. Anyway, so I backed up and I drove forward, and it was okay. And then a couple days later, I thought, what if it was just something happened when I went over the tracks and it messed with my car somehow? Something got out of gear, because when I went over the tracks, like the whole car, it was a bump that I went over. Not that that should do anything, but so I went outside and I pulled out and I drove around the corner and I came back and it was driving fine. I'm like, that's really weird. I have a Mazda 2003, Mazda 6, 2003, 2003 Mazda 6, sorry. And it's 10 years old, but it's new to me. I just bought it in July. So I need this car to work for the next 4 years, for the next 10 years, if possible, you know? And I'm supposed to bring it in next Friday and have them give me an estimate about like what is wrong with it. They're going to check it out and see if there's anything really truly wrong with it. There may not be anything wrong with it. It may just be a fluke, but that's doubtful because this happened, you know. I don't think things like this can just correct themselves. Anyway, it might also be something having to do with getting an oil change, you know. I was actually supposed to get an oil change about a week or two ago, and I heard with the Mazda 6s, um, it goes through oil pretty quickly and transmission fluid, so it could be something like that. One thing I wonder is when they say that they top off all the fluids, what fluids are they talking about? This is something I must Google. Unless you have the answers, then put them down in the comments below. Anyway, I need to go shopping for food because I have no food at my house. And talk at you later. Bye. Oh, I'm gonna go see Hunger Games too. So, anyone wants to go with me, call me.